I hear many of you say that the Chicago Bulls were lucky that they never had to face the Houston Rockets in the finals. And maybe that's true. Maybe. I don't agree with that. I think the Bulls would have beaten them. They would have figured something out. Phil Jackson was the ultimate strategist. We had the ultimate supporting cast as far as coaching is concerned. We had the ultimate competitive player in Michael Jordan. We had the best perimeter defensive player at the time in Scottie Pippen. We had a burgeoning defensive player in Ron Harper. 1993-94 was Horace Grant's best year as a player. That's the only year he was an all-star. I think if Jordan was on that team, we had young Tony Kukoc come in. You know, we had the nucleus of the Chicago Bulls championship team. I think we would have prevailed. I really do. I believe in my heart we would have won. However, some people said we were lucky not to face the Houston Rockets. But let me say this. The Houston Rockets were lucky too, because they didn't have to face the Seattle Supersonics in the Western Conference Finals, because Seattle let their guard down and got upsetted by the Denver Nuggets in the first round. But Seattle was Houston's kryptonite. They weren't so lucky in 96 or in 93, if I'm not mistaken. But, and generally during the regular season, Seattle just always kicked this team's ass. And they were lucky. And unlike Chicago, when the regular season, someone reminded me that Chicago for a stretch was like 1-5 against the Houston Rockets. We weren't unfamiliar with that team. Whereas Seattle was familiar with Houston. They were accustomed to playing them regularly, and they knew how to beat them. Also, and I think this needs to be said, because I don't really hear people say this a lot, New York should have beaten them in the finals. New York should have beaten them. Game 7, they were up 3-2. Despite the fact that Patrick Ewing was shooting like shit the whole series. And John Stark, their first two primary scorers, shooting like shit the whole series. And it still went 7. And they only won 90-86 the last fucking game. Despite the fact that John Starks missed all 11 of his fucking threes. All 11. He only has to hit 2 fucking threes and they win the goddamn game. He goes 2 for 18, which is probably the worst fucking game of his career. The worst shooting game of his career. How lucky can you get? And don't give me that, Patrick Ewing only shot 36% from the field because of Akeem Olajuwon's defense. No. Some of it was his defense. Some of it was. But some of it was just Patrick Ewing either just choking. 9 for 29, 9 for 30, 8 for 29. Wide open jump shots. He's just fucking bricking. Some of those shots were wide open. A lot of them were wide open. The New York Knicks should have won the 1994 NBA Finals. Houston should not have won. Houston got lucky. Lucky.